Welcome to Most Moto Mindset of Successful Thinking. So look, we're here with Christina. Yeah, she has her own last name. When you just like Cher, you don't have a last name. You just Cher. You just Christina. And we got Joe Lockett, the infamous Joe Lockett. This camera is doing what it do. It's doing fuzzy.
It's making you fuzzy. I'm clear.
Yeah, because you light skinned. But let's see some. Let's see. Maybe not. Let's go over. Do I need to take the camera back, so? I mean, y'all perfect in that mug. Why y'all so perfect?
I don't know, man. We've been doing this for a long time.
I know, right?
Either way, look, Most Moto Mindset Successful Thinking, Moto Show for Motivation. I'm here with Joe Lockett and Christina from the Joe Lockett Show. And I thank y'all for being a part of what we're doing today. Give me a hand to clap for you. Give yourself a round of applause for this. Look at that. So look, Most Moto Mindset Successful Thinking, Moto Show for Motivation. The true outcome of having a mindset of successful thinking is having an unwavering expectation of successfully achieving a predetermined goal. So we got some superstars in the midst. While I'm down here in Alabama, Birmingham, in the B-Ham. Roll Tide, right? Either way. But
baby.
Even though I'm a Vols fan, but besides that, so look, I want to let me tell you something about people that's been doing this for a while. You know, I'm sitting here trying to figure out a title. I'm sitting here trying to figure out how things are going to go, how things work. And then they say, Troy, stop. We've been doing this for years. We've been doing this for... So what you're doing is something that we already know what we're doing. Just turn the camera on and we just make it happen. So what we're going to be talking about today is really just talking about the importance about overcoming fear, but also sometimes fear can actually be a good thing. But then also the importance about patience. You know, so when we're trying to go forward in life, we got to actually sometimes deal with fear all the time, you know, because what happens is if you're fearful of something, you actually sometimes can be stagnant and then you're afraid to go forward. But sometimes fear can actually be a good thing to help you push you to the next level. And then by being patient, patience is a virtue. That's what we heard about, right? So being patient at times is always a good thing, but then sometimes you can be too patient where you don't move at all either. Right. So that's what Christina, we're gonna talk about that today, about that. This girl's 27 years old and she already has a judiciary degree, so she taking folks to jail. But either way, besides that, then we got Joe, who one of the guy that just understands the importance about just going forward. You know, being an entrepreneur and things like that. So I want to concentrate on that with you guys today, but most of all, get to know you guys.
Well, thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having us.
So who want to go first?
Ladies first.
Ladies first. Christina, tell us about Tell us about you first.
Well,
tell
my name
us
is
about you.
Christina, and I'm the owner of Pink Lux.
Pink Lux.
Yes, PINKLUX. And we offer wardrobe services and makeup services for professionals everywhere. So if you're not in Birmingham, it's okay because I can work with you as well.
Look at that, anywhere.
Yes, anywhere. As long as you have a phone or a laptop or a tablet or a computer, I can work with you.
So you can be cute on the internet all the time. You don't have to take a selfie and put it way up here to make you look all skinny and all that other stuff. So you don't get catfished and all that.
Exactly. I help you create your authentic image. I help actually Joe.
She did.
Is that what she make you look pretty like that?
Bro, all the wardrobe.
But see, he can't see his feet right now. But Joe rocks the TM socks. You know, he's a great supporter of that. That's why I love working with people like that. They actually support you. You support them. Soon he gonna have his sock line out too. So JL Socks. We're gonna talk about that. But Joe, tell us about you though.
Well, I'm a radio talk show, TV talk show host, and here in Birmingham, Alabama. You guys can catch my show on WYDE on Saturdays 4 to 7. Go download the app. Or you can go to AlabamaCableNetwork.com and catch my TV show on Monday nights at 8 p.m. And if you're in Birmingham, of course, it's on Alabama Cable Network, Channel 80.
Look at that. So tell us about you, Joe, besides that. I know you do that, but you also have done some other things, too.
Well, I used to own a construction company. I still work it every once in a while, but yeah, that's how I first got my start. I was in construction, wanted to get out of construction, and decided I wanted to go do some other stuff. But during the time I was in construction, Troy, I became the DIY expert for Fox 6 News, which was pretty cool. And they got me into TV, and I didn't realize that I had got bitten by the bug. But then they would call me to come out and do little examples and stuff on TV about space heaters and all that other good stuff. And then a couple of years later, man, I wound up being in radio, and then I got my own TV show.
Look at that.
Yeah.
But you were scared in that process at times, I know. Because now you're an esteemed author. And tell us about this book you got about
Well, I got my book called I Said Yes. But here's the thing, I think when you're talking about a fear, I was never afraid, Troy, of doing things. What I was afraid of was success. I was afraid of becoming a millionaire. That's what I realized. I'm the guy to go jump off the cliff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm the guy who say you want to make $1 million. How many black people you know, Troy, have had $1 million? We can talk about being successful. We can say
fly about it a little bit.
Right. Yeah. But if you think about how many black people actually have $1 million you can go talk to. Mm-hmm. So it's cool to say, well, I want to be a millionaire. But when you figure out the things that you got to go do to be a millionaire, you get paralyzed, you get scared. Mm-hmm. Because you don't know if you're ever going to make it. And then you're like, man, if I did all this work and I don't make it, what happens? Yeah. That was the fear that paralyzed me. Mm-hmm. So I had to push past my fear because I was having the success in H2G with my company, my construction company, Troy. Then I was on TV locally. And then I got my radio show. Then it started doing well. But I wasn't making the money. And then I started to figure out, why am I not making the money? Each time I went to go get the money part of it, right, I would get scared. Yeah. And I didn't realize I was getting scared. I would make excuses. Well, I get to it later. I'm gonna look at it later.
To get the money?
To get the money, the real money that's really needed. Yeah. When you're an entrepreneur, because the first thing you do as an entrepreneur, you want to make sure you can pay your bills. Right. And you're making money. But then you don't look at the other part of, okay, this is not adding up to be $1 million. Yeah. That's the scary part.
You can find that out fast.
You find it out real quick.
Yeah.
But as an entrepreneur, and a lot of your followers here can attest to this. Being an entrepreneur, the last thing you want to look at when you first start out is your bank account. Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're scared of it. You don't even want to look. Exactly. Yeah, you don't want to look in that bank account. You know what you see is not going to be helpful for you throughout the day. Yeah. What winds up, you don't look at your bank account for 1 week. Or you don't spend no money, right? Or you don't do something. That's that fear. Yeah. And so what I had to realize was, dude, you're behind is scared to really go out here and go for it. Mm-hmm. And truly become a millionaire. What it takes, it was a mindset. Yeah. In the black community, we don't have that. A lot of people don't have that mindset. It's developed. But my mom and dad never told me, Joy, I'm going to be a millionaire. This is going to happen for you, right? They told me to go get a job. Yeah. They told me to go work hard.
Get some benefits.
And get some benefits. Yeah. And pay your bills on time. Right. Never once out of my parents' mouth, and your viewers look at this, think about it. Have your parents ever told you to become a millionaire? Mm-hmm.
Or laid it out to help you how you can actually achieve it?
Yeah. Because they don't know.
They don't have the financial talk in that family.
But that's a whole nother ball game. That's entrepreneurship. Yeah. Christine, entrepreneurship is that one thing that's going to be that you got to step out there on faith of doing things. It may not be exact. It may not be there when you expect it. So like that check coming every month, it's coming every 2 weeks or every week. Right. I'm getting a check. If I get hurt, I get sick, I go to the doctor, I got some health care benefits, whatever. Right. But then when you out there on your own, building your own well in the middle of a desert, you have no other choice but to, hey, I need to either go get the money. Right. Mm-hmm. And I can't be fearful of doing that. What about you, Christine, being an entrepreneur?
Same thing. It is scary when you're saying, okay, this is what I do, and this is how much I charge. Because you got to find your clients, and then the first couple of clients you get, they're like, wait a minute, you're charging how much money? Yeah. I got to pay this for what? Uh-huh. It becomes like, you get nervous, you have to come, you're like, oh, this great presentation of how you can work with me, what I can do for you. But this is how much it costs. You like hurry up.
But then what happens after you get afraid to stay faithful on your price? Because what happened, we automatically start, if you see somebody's face in sales, you already know.
Start lowering it.
Yeah, and then you look at somebody's sales, they say the first one to speak loses. Mm-hmm. So you say, hey, this is my price. And it's dead silence and like, well, you know what? I can give it to you for this much.
Exactly.
And like, well, I was going to pay you, but okay, cool.
And that comes with patience. Yeah, you have to figure out if they're not your client, then it's okay. Mm-hmm. You have to be patient and work hard until the next one comes in that is your client. And then you start finding out what attracted them to me.
Brandon.
Exactly. What did I do? Mm-hmm. And then you start repeating it over and over. But if you just say, you know what? No one's going to hire me. Yeah. No one's to work with me. I'll just go back and get my 9 to 5 and be miserable every day. You're not growing.
And so that comes with the mindset.
You're letting that fear and being impatient, all of that comes together and basically putting you back 10 steps instead of moving you forward.
So when we talk about impatience then, because if you're doing things, you have to stay forward, stay focused, your mindset has to be good, but then you say, I want it now. Matter of fact, I want it yesterday.
Exactly.
But as you know, in entrepreneurship or any type of business that you do, or even in work, but it takes time and it takes a couple steps to get there. You can't just go right to it. You can. Some people can come overnight successes. But if you don't know what those things are like.
They become overnight successes. They don't know how to handle it.
Exactly.
And they don't know what got them there.
Exactly. Right. So they can't keep reproducing the same results and getting more and more money. They kind of just stay in that one place until all their money's gone, or
Yeah.
they spent it incorrectly. They didn't have an accountant. They didn't know the legal side, the legal side of everything, and now they're like broke.
It's like the
6
lottery
months to a
winner.
year.
Lottery winner, they get it, they balling out of control.
Right.
But as you know, in entrepreneurship or even in full commission sales, you might have a good month in March.
Yep.
$20,000, $30,000. Ooh, I'm doing it. That don't mean it's gonna happen in April.
And you spent all that money.
You done spent it all in March. I mean, everything. You done paid all your bills up.
Right,
Sometimes you might have to just pay the bare minimum. Just how much is it? $20. We're gonna sit here at $20.
Exactly.
You know, you can't. Oh, how much I owe? $2,000. Sure, I got it. Go ahead and pay it. Now you broke again. Now you gotta go get the money off the credit card again.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's sometimes that happens. But I mean, the fear. Oftentimes, fear can be a good thing. You know, we talk about how you don't want to be afraid, but you gotta do it. You have to jump. That's what Steve Harvey said, right?
But I think, Steve Harvey, he really hits home when he said just jump, right? But I think the thing that I had to learn, Troy, was this. I had to learn to identify what my fear was and put a name to it, and then attack that point of my life.
So, like, what was that for you?
Like I said, it was becoming a millionaire. You tell me to go start something, I go do the research, I'll go make the phone calls. I don't have a problem doing it.
Right? Being a work person, being a labor man.
Yeah, being a labor person.
Yeah.
But when it got to, okay, how to grow this into a multi-million-dollar company, right? That's when the fear kicks in, because now I want to be successful, Troy, but now I really don't know how. And who, Troy, let's be honest, who do you to call, to say, okay, what does it take to be a millionaire now? You got to figure that out all by yourself. And that is a scary space to be in. You got something that you know that's worth $1 million. Or multi-million dollars. But you're so paralyzed because you don't know what to do next. Is it sales? Is it marketing? You don't have the money. You got to pay these bills. You're paralyzed. You're scared. And then what happens is, because you've never been there before, you either revert back to who you were, you move along in the snail pace and give yourself BS excuses of why you can't move forward.
Yeah.
And
then they start saying things like, well, my daddy wasn't there.
Right. Yeah.
I'm from where I'm from.
Yeah.
My mom did this or this. So, Les Brown said something, key thing. He said, look, the biggest fear he ever had was not, the easiest thing he ever done was make $1 million. The hardest thing he ever done was actually believe it could happen to him. And I think what happens is, besides the fact we don't know how to get there, we're going to get to that point. But the first thing starts in your mindset and seeing and visualizing and knowing it can happen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because we typically probably doing the steps. You working hard, you calling, we doing those things, but we don't take the next step of saying, well, I'm going to just go. I made the call, he said yes, or she said yes. Okay, now what?
And a lot of times it's also not having, being taught to have systems and processes in order. That was a big thing that I got taught being an entrepreneur and a business owner that now has people underneath me, that you got to have systems and processes in order. Because you're going to probably forget those 10 steps you took to get to that one client, or have that $1,000 come in that leads to 100,000, that leads to $1 million. So when you have those systems and processes in place, you're like, okay, this is how it happened, so let's keep doing it over and over.
Yeah.
But like you said, if you don't know,
so so y'all say that we don't know. That's good. Let's stay on that point. So now, what's the next step then? We may not be millionaires right now on this couch. It may be $3 million on this couch.
I don't know what he's talking about.
but look. Oh, you on 10 million?
I have no idea what he's talking about, but
But if we go into that point of the process of becoming millionaires, or now we got our mindset right, because you guys have your mind right. You got TV shows, you're doing things, you're traveling here, taking care of clients and all this and that, writing books. So now that we know, what steps you take and actually go there, though?
I think, man, it's day by day.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's no magic sauce. Everybody's life is different. You have to figure out every day what you can do a little bit better than you did yesterday.
Yeah.
It's no big game plan. If you wake up in the morning and you made one phone call, try to make 2 phone calls today, right? Try to make that 3rd phone call.
Yeah.
Do the things that's going to scare the crap out of you.
Yeah.
And do it.
Yep.
If it's just one thing, and they say if you're going to do one thing, I would tell anybody, for fear, in 1 week, do the one thing, one day, one time, that scares the crap out of you. If that's trying to call Oprah Winfrey, or if that's trying to call whatever, right? Trying to call the president, do that. Once you get more comfortable in taking that leap on something that you don't want that no to, then it gets more easy for you.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to really sell my radio show. Because when I first started my radio show, I'm like, who want to buy time on a 6 o'clock in the morning radio show?
Yeah.
Right. So I didn't feel I was good enough. So when I started selling time, I wasn't confident. But each time I went and sold and talked to people, I sold time, but I didn't like doing it. But now, because of the system that I put in place, now I can sell time on my radio show. But it had to be within me. I had to find something that was comfortable for me. I can tell your listeners and your viewers tonight, Troy, everything that I did, but that's not going to work for them.
Yeah, you know, that's the key thing.
Yeah. You have to make it your own.
Right.
Because what he was scared of, I wasn't scared of. And what I'm scared of, maybe he's not scared of.
Right.
You have to definitely make it your own. And really find out, what are you fearing? That's the biggest thing. Some people don't want to look in that mirror and find out, what am I afraid of? Because eventually, you're going to face it. You can be scared all you want, have all that fear, but eventually, you're going to bring it to you, or you're going to be forced to have to get through it.
Yeah.
You're gonna either sink or swim.
And that's what I think about. That's what I say about success. Success is all relative to the person. Because success to you may not look like success to me.
Exactly.
You know, oftentimes we think that success is the big Maserati, or you know, the Bentley, or the big house, and then find out that doesn't keep that person happy. They don't help them understand their why. They don't see that success. I want to be a teacher. That's not me personally, but I want to be a teacher. And all the time,
graduated my family.
yeah, exactly. But that's a step towards success. And then if you know your why, you can continue to move forward. And I think if we know what our why is, we won't be afraid anymore to become millionaires, right? Or when we get it, to obtain it. Because oftentimes you get what you wanted, and then you find out it's not enough.
And I think another thing is, Troy, when people are sitting there, especially in 2018, you need to think about, okay, even though you want to be successful, what is it that when you get to success, what are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
Right? Because after that, it's like, you know, I think Neil Armstrong said when he went to the moon, right, he went into depression. Reason being, because after you go to the moon, what else can you do?
What else? I mean, literally, you go to the moon. You're out of space.
I mean, that's it. I mean, that is a wrap. So it's about the planning. And one of the other things is, I say you have to hang around positive people.
Network.
Yeah, because the people in your corner that you grew up with, and you got this abstract idea one day of what you want to be able to do, maybe one or two of those people that you've been hanging around for years may understand or go with you, but the conversation is not going to go far. They're not going to push you. You're right. They're not going to be a Troy. They're not going to be a Christian. They're not going to be a Joe. So I think, you know, when you truly sit down with yourself and go in that room and close that door, and you talk with God and don't leave till you hear something. And before we get out of here, Troy, you probably need to hear one of the stories that she got, because she had one of those moments.
Oh wait, well, you know what? That's what we'll lead it out on then. We're gonna hear what Christina has to say, but I want to hear about this story too, because we covered fear. In the sense, we covered a little bit about patience, you know, because I'm quite sure it might entail with that. So what's your story?
Yeah, it basically, like you said, going in a room. I got laid off 2 years ago. Is it now 2 years ago? 2 years ago from my corporate job, and it was basically that. I literally went home and didn't know what was going to happen. Because I had started Pink Lux, but it was like a part-time thing. And now it was like, oh gosh, this is like, either I can do this full time, or I gotta go try to find me another job. And I knew I didn't want to go find another job in that field, because I love helping everyday people, making them feel great, look great. So I literally went in the room for about 8 hours.
8 hours?
8 hours.
8 hours?
Yes. 8 hours with a purple notebook that I still have today, an ink pen, and I literally was just like, God, please talk to me. Yeah. Tell me what am I supposed to do. And it was very silent.
Yeah, because I bet if he would have said, Christina, you would have, what the fuck? Close my book, I'm going to get up. Can we say, please talk to me, Christina, I'm here.
Right. And I was just like crying, because I'm like, God, I know I'm supposed to do more. Yeah. And that's the thing, you have to be patient to accept his word. And I tell people this all the time, make sure it's what he's saying and not what you want to hear. Because so often we go, oh, God wants me to do this. But is it what he wants you to do, or is it what you want to do? Because you're like, maybe this is what he wants to. And that's what I had to face. was I supposed to do this forever and grow and make it as big as I dreamed as it could be? Or was that just me wanting that for me and not what he wanted for me? And so I literally prayed and cried and prayed again and cried, got some water back in there, prayed and cried some more, and just listened to him. And that's the biggest thing, really listening to him, really opening your ears and listening. And like I said, being patient enough to receive the word. Like I said, is it what he wants you to do or what you think he wants you to do?
And that really showed up. And
it really showed up, because every time I try to linger from that notebook that I still have today, it does not work out.
Right.
If I try to go 10 steps further, faster than I'm supposed to, it doesn't work out. Because I literally created SMART goals while I was in there for 8 hours.
Okay.
And SMART goals mean you're breaking it completely down to actionable steps and all
Granular.
that.
Bring it down. Yeah.
Bringing it all the way down. And like I said, if I try to do something that's supposed to be planned for 2019 or 2020, now it never works.
So did it pass? I mean, is that from so you got your judiciary degree and you're doing makeup and apparel. Tell me, how did that go to that? How did it go?
Well, being laid off. Like I said, I posted this on Facebook. It's funny. You can either be good at things in life or you can be great at them. And I'm good in the law. But I'm great at what I do now. And I had to decipher, do I want to be just good because that's a nice title to have, that you're a lawyer and
you walk, like if you walk around, oh, I'm an attorney. Yeah.
It's like, oh wow, that's so cool. You know, is that what it's worth? Your life? Just having cool points from everybody?
Is that what success looked like to you? Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was like, I love helping people be better and improve. And in law, they say it's what it is, but it's really not. You have to follow, ethics and, the law and stuff. And sometimes what you feel is right may be wrong legally. And what you feel is wrong may be right legally. Yeah. And it's like, could I wake up every single day doing that?
Right.
Just because it sounds good and I'm good at it.
That's why I encourage people all the time as well. About just following what your passion may be. Like Joe done construction work, using his hand, working with his hands, right? It may not be what he want to do long term, but he can. But there's some people that actually love doing that. And since the title may not be sufficient enough for other people, they just say, well, it's not successful. So
exactly.
And when oftentimes they actually make when you're working in your purpose, you'll be doing some better things.
And that can be scary.
Yeah.
Leaving, like you said, a job that gives you every 2 weeks a paycheck for something that you're praying is what you're supposed to be doing for your life. Is this the destiny? And being 27, most people don't know what their destiny is at 27.
Right.
Most people haven't sat down and really figured out, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. They're kind of just, most people are still in college at 27, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
So to be out of college, working in the corporate world for 3 years, and my peers are 40 and 35 and up, being the youngest at that time coming in and seeing how they were. These people have been in the field for 20 plus years and seeing how miserable
and drinking
they were exactly.
Yeah.
And it is a job that you would become a
alcoholic. Something. So what's the man that?
And I didn't want that for me.
Yeah.
And I remember walking. The building was complete glass. The front was, and I remember walking up, and what I saw was not Christina.
Stop it. Shut the front door.
No, I had on all brown, everybody. Brown pants, a brown shirt, wasn't even cute. I just, some flats that weren't even cute. It just wasn't me. Yeah. Anybody's ever known my whole life, I'm always perky and happy and colorful, and that's just who I am. And I realized at that moment, I had lost Christina. Because I wasn't happy.
It's a deep one.
I had my hair in a ponytail. Didn't have any edges laid down or anything.
Just back.
It just looked like, you know how you have like a low point?
Yeah.
That's what it looked like as I looked in that reflection of me, just a low point. Didn't have on any lipstick, didn't have on any makeup, didn't have anything that...
It wasn't Christina.
It wasn't Christina. And I would go in every day, work all day, sometimes 13, 14 hours, go home, try to run Pink Lux, wake up at 5 o'clock, go to sleep at 2. I was sleeping like 2, 3, 4 hours some nights because this wasn't what I wanted to do every day. And like you said, you gotta have patience, and you gotta make sure that's what you're supposed to be doing. And it's different between just sitting there, not doing anything, it's not working out, than still pushing and going forward. There's been plenty of times that everything was not going great. Plenty of times.
But you had to remember. You remember what your why was.
Exactly. Remember what that why is, and remembering this is what I'm supposed to do.
And all that stuff sounds easy because we sit here today.
Exactly.
Because you went through it.
Yeah, yeah, but it's
still
not.
Going through
it.
Yeah, I feel
still going through.
It's not. It's not. So
I appreciate you guys coming to the set today. It's the Most Moto set. Wherever we go, we just set up.
Hey man,
you know what I'm saying? So won't you encourage the folks today, encourage Most Moto community, your last couple words. Then we talking about fear and patience. What's the last thing you like to leave the folks with? With your microphone sticking out your shoulder. I mean, it's like sticking out.
Okay, guys, so can you hear me?
Well, that's what you told me.
That boy just sticking out like, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what we like. I told you.
That's what we like about being live. You know, live. What you say, Joe?
When it's live, the good thing about being live is live. The bad thing about being live is live.
There you go. Well, go ahead. What you got to say,
So
Christina?
should I talk in the shoulder like
No,
this? Or?
No, don't.
I guess I want to leave them with making sure you understand patience for you and how long should that last for you. For me, it's a couple of weeks the most. Meaning I'm not getting too far behind where I can't catch up, but I understand it's what I'm supposed to be right now. Just learn what that means for you. And making sure whatever you're doing it to be great and not just good in life.
Yeah, that's good. That's right. Because when you walked into the door, you seen that was the good person, but
Exactly.
you want to be great.
Exactly.
You know, you look your best.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm representing my best self, and therefore I love helping people do that for themselves. And that's why I feel fulfilled in, because I'm able to use it as well as a ministry. There's some clients I work with that they feel like they can't talk about God to their friends, or they feel like they can't talk about God in the business world. Well, with me, it's my company.
Yeah.
So if they're going through something, I can give them a word that day. I give them that encouragement or help them get past whatever they're going through.
Right.
And for me, that's just very fulfilling.
Fulfilling. What about you, Joe?
I would tell your listeners and viewers tonight, Troy, fear is going to be different for everybody. And the thing I would say for you to is sit down and figure out what it is that you want to do.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, make sure that the fear that you feeling, you figure out in time how to face it. And I can tell you this honestly, just from my personal experience, I call it mode man of experience. If you never face your fear, whatever success you're looking for, you're not going to find it. Because this is the way God has this thing set up. It's real quick. God placed your success on the other side of fear. All right, so that's basically how you get to it. You got to face it. I told my son this one time, I put this can in front of him. I said, this is you in front of the can. I said, if you never go to that can, God's going to put a bunch of cans along the side. You got to go through that can. So you got to face your fear to figure out whatever the success of, whether it's marriage, whether it's money, whether it's the Holy Spirit, whatever. You got to go over and face that fear.
Well, there we have it. We got Joe Lockett from the Joe Lockett Show, with Christina from the Joe Lockett Show as well. Christina has her first name only. She likes Cher. We just go Christina. But either way, thank you guys for listening, being a part of Most Moto, mindset of successful thinking. Moto is short for motivation. The true outcome of having a mindset of successful thinking is having an unwavering expectation of successfully achieving a predetermined goal, knowing that the outcome is supposed to happen. One thing I think we can gather from this whole deal is that helping people. When you're helping other people, all the time you see that the success comes from you actually helping other people. And when you help other people, they will help you get to where you want to go.
And if they want to get my book, you can go to feargotmehere.com.
There you go.
That's feargotmehere.com. And also the different things we're doing with the sock collection, go to jlsocks.com. You can follow me on social media at Joe Lockett Show. That's 2 T's, Lockett.
What about you,
And if you need help with your wardrobe, your professional image, or me come speak to your team or your school, you can check me out at pinkluxpl.com, and at social media, the same thing, at pinkluxpl.com or Christina Princess Renteria.
Well, we're going to put that on the screen too so you can see it. Well, look, thank you. Hey, remember, change your life, but most of all, change yourself. The camera's blurry, but it's okay. Amen. Y'all be good.